Hi there, Sanna here again. Welcome to the Natural Material and Glimmer Mists second part of the video series. What I've done is I've taken my misting box, which is just a shipping box I'm using to protect my surroundings, and then I've taken a paper towel and I've placed all these bits and pieces that I chose to use on this video part. And I've got the same colors like throughout the series: the green, aquamarine, the gold, the icicle blue, sorry you can't see that, missed the camera there, and then the pink poodle. And I'm just going to take a color and spray it on these pieces and leave that to dry and see what happens with the button or with that particular piece if you add Glimmer Mists on top. And I'm just trying to take colors that you can see some kind of change on those pieces. I don't really know how this works on these particular materials, but that's why we're testing. So I'm trying to, I think I need to use the darker colors on the stones just to see what happens. So the tile for sure is going to take the color really nicely. Maybe we can make a little blend there, add a little bit gold. So mixing colors is always also interesting. And then let's do some blue on the stone. Oh wow, really like how that looks. What do we take here? Let's take 2 or 3 colors for the bigger one. So there's gold. Then there's pink, and let's put some green in there. So that's it, and I'll leave them to react on their own to see what happens. Really like how that's looking like at the moment. We'll see how it turns out when it's all dry. And that's the cement piece. So I'm just going to add colors there. Okay, and then we still have the glossy shell from the beach, and the other one, I think I will make it blue. Oh, let's do 2 colors, just for interest, since we are testing. It's just random colors in there. Let's add some pink. Can't stop, can you see? I just can't stop. Okay. And I think it's safe to heat these because I'm using my misting box and I've got my heat gun here, so let's give them some heat to make this process a little bit faster and see how much of the color actually sticks to the surface. That one seems to work really nicely, so stones develop a really nice color. So if you add this as a centerpiece to a canvas, for example, and hang it in a frame, then it should be good to go as it is. If you're going to use it on some kind of as a paperweight on your table, then you might need to put a spray fixative on top of it to keep the color on the material, that it doesn't wear off with time. And that looks really interesting too. So you've got all the glimmer in there. I'm going to go and come for a close-up then really soon. Just need to dry these first. And the cement piece looks interesting. Turned out really fascinating. And then we've got the horn buttons of all types. And as it seems, some color sticks to those too, so it's not all for nothing here. If you want really fine results, really nice results, you might need to take a paintbrush and paint them heat them, and then paint some color, just a thin layer, then heat it again. to get an even coverage, but since we're just testing the basic facts, if it sticks to the material at all, I'm just giving them a slight spray and then I'm drying them up, either air drying depending on the material or with the heat gun, just to see the results and what's happening here. So the shell looks interesting because obviously due to its form and glossy surface, the color will not stick to all areas similarly. So we've got a really strong color concentration on the sides and practically nothing on top, but also can look really interesting depending on what you use it for. Okay, so let's come for a close-up. Just need to be careful because these are hot now. So that would be the stone that was a little bit brown on its own, and it has a more porous surface, so it's not that smooth, but it looks really nice. It has a lot of glimmer on top. Let me see, I'll take my finger and rub it with my finger, and the glimmer does not come off. Can you see that? So it actually stays there, so you can color the stones with the Glimmer Mists. Imagine all the possibilities you can do with these. Then we've got the piece of a brick, and I added 2 colors on top. So there's gold and the aquamarine, and you've got really nice glimmer concentration on the deeper areas of this brick, but it's totally shiny and glimmery on all areas, so this looks really lovely. Then we've got the cement piece, and this also worked really nicely due to its surface structure, because this also is absorbent, so the surface absorbs the color really nicely. From the beginning. Then we've got the horn buttons, and what happened here is there are slight droplets of color on top of the whiter areas, on the smoother areas, and then on the flower pattern inside, the color concentrated there and created a really nice looking pattern in there in pink, and it also sticks to those deeper areas. Something comes off. Maybe it's not completely dry yet. Maybe it needs a longer drying time. But a little bit pink came off from the smooth areas there, but not much. And if you would like to just color the deeper areas, then you just add a dip of color in each deeper area and let it dry on its own. Just needed a little bit more drying time. Then we've got this cow button here, and some areas took the color really nicely, so I wouldn't need to treat this area again and again to cover it throughout. And it also, when it's dry, sticks quite well. It's not a perfect result, but you still have a lot of color there, but some of the glimmer comes off if you wipe it with your finger. Then we got the white button, which has a really interesting surface. It looks really a little bit like it's been sanded or something. And if I wipe it with my finger, the color doesn't come off. As you can see, there's no color on my finger there. What else? Then we have this glossy shell, and as you can see, the color rolled down due to the form of the shell. It rolled down to the lower areas and concentrated there, but it created a really nice looking piece. So this would be also lovely to use on some kind of home decor or mixed media project for home. I really like how that looks like. So let's give it a slight rub. and no, it doesn't come off, so it sticks there. If you heat it, it doesn't come off anymore. Then we have this beautiful, beautiful stone that was light gray to start with, and it has a really smooth, worn surface. And look what happens with icicle blue. Isn't that pretty? Just a completely even, thorough coverage of a rich blue color in there. Even a lot of shine towards the sides where the glimmer gathers. Really beautiful. So let's rub that. And no, basically nothing comes off. Really nice result there. Then we've got the mushroom button, and also there the color spread out quite nicely. It's yellow throughout, golden yellow throughout the piece. And then let's take the finger again for testing. And it stays there. The color stays there. There's no, just a little bit glimmer on my finger. Okay, I think we're done. Maybe we still have this one, sorry. So that was the shell gathered from the beach, and it has a lot of algae and all kinds of stuff growing on it. So I added gold there. Can you see that shine? Then I've got some pink going on here, some green and blue here. So the colors mixed really nicely. And it looks really pretty. And I wouldn't rub this so much because all the algae comes off, but it sticks to the surface. Okay, so this was the natural material part. Thanks for watching.